Okay, I'm gonna say the thing, and then you can push the button.
Okay.
This is
All
gonna
right.
be...
Okay.
How is Last of Us any different than the plot of Super Mario Brothers? I think that was already basically an SNL sketch, actually. Damn it. I have no original ideas.
I could have told you that, Steve. None of us have original ideas. We're all just rebaking stuff that went in and now it's going to come out another way. Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, fixing, modding, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
Yeah, it's Mira. Welcome to their show.
What'd you do last Wednesday? I was over at my friend's house recording my podcast.
Oh, so now we're friends.
What do you want to be?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna kill me. It's, we recorded this same session as last week. I'm still getting over this stupid cold that I had. Straight into an ad?
That's what we do here, man.
That's what we do. We got an ad from John Fleming. This is for a U2
why does
baritone conversion. Because I thought it would be funny to put the warning message that we got at the top of the screen grab that tells us
he must have sent us from a different, because we've definitely emailed with John before.
Right. I thought about reporting him as phishing just to do a little prank.
Oh my gosh.
It gave us a warning message on his email and I screen grabbed it.
Danelectro U2 Baritone conversion. For sales, this Danelectro U2 that has been converted to a baritone guitar. This neck is not originally from the guitar. The backside of the neck has been painted. It's definitely a 1950s Dano neck, likely from an early 50s U1. Evidence provided. The original fretboard has been replaced with a baritone scale rosewood fretboard. Measurements are proper. Guitar stays tuned up and down the neck. Tuners replaced with court tuners. Neck has some bow, but frets have been leveled or plecked, if you will. Well, have they been leveled or plecked?
Plecked is such a specific thing. You don't tell me the frets are leveled and tell me that's the same thing as plecking, because it kind of is, but it really is not.
So the action is low and there's no dead frets. There's some finish checking on the paint. 1950s U2 copper finish, original hardware. Pickups are gold. Potts original bridge. Has been subbed with a Telly style gold bridge along the guitar. Let's look at these pictures.
Yeah, let's look at the pictures of the thing. The pictures tell us more than the words do. We've seen some baritone conversions over the years. This is wild because they did a full fretboard replace to make the scale length work, I guess. But do they really need to do that? Because they moved the bridge, Would this have normally had 3 pickups? No, right? I feel, no. It would have, they moved the bridge. Like, you see where the bridge is. Like, and look at where the 12th fret is. Like, this is not a normal baritone conversion. It doesn't have a normal amount of playable space across the neck. You've really only got, like 14 frets to work with here.
I got to look up what this is supposed to look like, because
Does the scale even work? It's so wild.
Okay, that's why I thought of you. So they added a pick guard too.
Yeah. If this works, here's a weird thing. There's things about this that I love.
Okay.
There's things about that I hate too. I hate the Telly bridge. I like that they did a lipstick humbucker as a bridge pickup. I think that's really cool and really fun. I hate the Telly bridge on this. I really like the relicking. Like this authentic Danelectro relicking. Oh, it's beautiful. Where the copper metallic is wearing away to the formica underneath and the wood stripping away on the edges and stuff. It just looks like it's going to, if this thing gets wet at all, it's just going to be over. This thing's just going to disintegrate. This is like so much mojo here.
No, the 12th fret should still, even though it's a baritone, the 12th fret should still be halfway, right?
Yeah. So it works.
So, I mean, it's hard to say because this picture's at an angle, but I don't think it's even close.
Oh, you don't think it's even close to being halfway?
No. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm trying to use objects.
Well, if they completely did a fretboard swap and didn't get it close, then that's a tragedy. I bet it works. But does it? Everyone in the comment section, do you think that this guitar is intonatable?
I mean, none of these pictures are actually flat, so it's hard to, they're all done at angles.
This one's pretty close to flat.
It's not though. If it is, then this is nowhere near. Look, Ryan, as an American, I reserve my right to use non-measurements as measurements.
My finger, I just measured it with my knuckle. It looks like that 12th fret is right in the middle.
You think so?
Or close to it. Yeah.
Look, this is...
Yeah, I think it's fine.
From the saddle...
Oh my gosh, Steve is using picks on his iPad.
Basically 2 3/4 picks. Right? 2 3/4 picks. But it is... Oh, maybe it is.
I think it's close enough that once you figure out the... I don't think they would have done a fretboard swap on this without getting it right. Like, it looks like a competent fretboard swap.
I'm getting 2.5 picks from the nut to the 12th fret and 2 3/4 picks.
Doing some really rough measuring here. Just eyeballing this thing to death. No, I think they did a fretboard swap that made it make sense. Man, that's funky though. That is super duper funky.
If I could play this in person.
Yeah.
If I saw this in a pawn shop. No, I don't think I could do this, but if I could play this in person, $450, I think I'd be really tempted.
Really?
Yeah.
If it plays decent?
If it plays decent.
They said there's some bow to the neck, but it's been plecked.
Yeah. Well, they say the action is low, so.
Right.
Because I almost spent, was it 200 or 300 on a Dano baritone, a Dano U2 baritone, not too long ago. That was like a 90s one.
Right.
And
you're right, 450 isn't bad. If it does function and if it does play.
It's got some like nice vintage touches. The GFS.
This is at least $700 worth of mojo.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's about $150 worth of funk. And like bad decisions. But it's got the return on mojo is here. And it's undeniable.
Yeah, I can't speak for the Danelectro like dual lipstick. The Danelectro single lipsticks, they sound like exactly like lipsticks are supposed to sound, which is to say they sound like shit. No, they're very like...
Here's the secret to lipstick guitars, lipstick pickups. If you have a guitar with lipstick pickups in it, only have lipstick pickups in it.
Yeah.
The moment that you hear a lipstick pickup next to another pickup, you're like, well, I'm never going to use this.
I put a lipstick pickup in my Stratocaster or my Telecaster because I wanted to try to get like a Strat, or I wanted to get like a Tele look out of it, but with a Strat size pickup. So I used a lipstick, and it just sounded bad. But that's combined with a hot humbucker.
But like, if you've got them by themselves and you're only working with lipsticks, then you dial the rest of your rig around it.
Yeah.
And then they have, a lot of personality. They have a lot of charm.
That's the thing is I couldn't because it was like a 5K output, or like a 4.5K output.
But then by the time you balance around the lipstick, then you bounce over to your high output humbucker or whatever.
Yeah.
And now you have to choose which one's going to sound right, because both of them can't sound right.
I think for $450, this just looks like a lot of fun. Again,
for $450, I'm gonna buy this and I'm gonna bust it out at parties. Oh, you guys want to see something cool? Look at this, and people are just gonna sit around and look at it.
Let's see, things to say about this guitar.
I kind of don't hate the pickguard.
I think it would grow on me.
I like it. It's a sheet of copper or something like that.
In some angles, I like it. In other angles, I'm more meh. What I was gonna say is, if you're having a party, you could break this guitar out, if it was like a New Year's Eve party, and then you could keep playing it until it's New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a joke in there that I'm missing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm
just saying, like, if you're playing, I think whether or not you want to pony up, I think this guitar is gonna rock. I think this guitar is gonna be cool with or without you.
I feel like I'm missing a cultural reference here.
I'm just saying, like, if you were playing this guitar and it was, oh, that doesn't work. No.
If I found this guitar on the street, would the street have a name?
Yeah, I don't know. You might find this guitar.
You're making jokes about it being a U2 model.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Even it has nothing to do with the band U2. It's just that's the model name of the.
If you were playing this guitar and you like really got into it, you might feel like you're stuck in a moment that you can't get out of.
I'm worried about octuning this baby. Is this what we're doing right now?
I'm just saying, like, probably getting this thing intonated would be easier than learning how to dismantle an atomic bomb.
All right.
If you brought this home, it would be a beautiful day. There, I'm out.
Oh my gosh, Steve!
Oh,
get it all out of your system.
All right. That's all the songs that I know. Psalm 40.
Oh my gosh. I mean, a clear improvement to the original design here is that you have intonation on every string.
Yeah.
You're probably going to need it. What scale do you think this is?
27.
It says it's 27 inches?
No, that's just my guess.
No, this thing's got to be
30.
I bet it's longer than 30.
31.
Because normally the bridge would be like a lot closer to like maybe not the middle of the body, but much further up. Like they really threw a bunch of extra inches on this. There's no. Oh man, it might be 30. What do you think the scale of a normal U2 is?
Something to think about with this is that 12th fret is like in the pocket.
Yeah.
So it's not a long neck.
No, it's not.
Like it's only a 15 fret neck. Jesus.
Danelectro.
What?
U2.
Yeah, it's only a 15 fret neck. So that probably is deceptive. Like it makes this guitar a lot shorter than it looks.
Look at where the bridge placement is on U2. It's like, okay. The scale length is 25 inches. Not too crazy. This might be over 30 inches.
I'm telling you, the neck is so much.
But the neck has to be shorter because that's why they had to do a new fretboard on it, is because the bridge is placed so far down.
Yeah. I'm saying that like that, but that's what I'm saying. I think the scale length might not be that much. Here, let me show you this picture after I load it up.
Look at where the 12th fret is on that guitar.
No, that's my point. And look at where the 12th fret is on this guitar.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
So the scale length might be like...
You lost like 3 frets on this neck.
Yeah.
By changing the scale length.
You lost more like, let's see. Oh, I don't know what a baritone neck would have been, but you've lost at least 3. So a standard U2 neck is 15, 17, 19, 20, 21. You've lost 6 frets.
Okay.
From a standard length neck. It's because they took a standard length neck.
I know.
And now I get it. And they slapped a baritone fretboard onto it.
What do you think they did first? You think they picked the bridge placement first, or do you think they picked the scale of the new fretboard first?
I think they did the scale of the fretboard first, and then
they played it really tight then, because for all they knew that they would have ended up having to hang that bridge off the body.
Yeah.
Maybe
they measured it, but so maybe they...
I can't imagine choosing that bridge placement though. Like it would have only taken 2 more inches, a 2-inch movement of the bridge to have a 27-inch scale.
But we don't know that this isn't a 27-inch scale.
There's no way this is a 27-inch scale baritone.
Or
this is 30 at least. It might be over 30, honestly. It's a long scale baritone. Like this is...
It's probably... my guess is it's a 30.
It might be. Yeah, I would not be surprised if we found out that this was like a 3132. I think this fretboard they put on there is custom for this guitar. I don't think they bought it off the shelf somewhere. I think they were like, I want to put the bridge here. Make me a fretboard that makes this make sense. And this is what they ended up with.
Shoot, the pickups are moved. I was going to say, well, we can use the distance between the two pickups.
No, the pickups are not in their original position. Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, we can use the distance between the two knobs.
No, there's...
No, I know. It's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
This is wild. Is this one going to win the episode?
It kind of feels like
it. kind of feels like it's exciting.
It's in the lead.
All right. So 450, we both agree. Like,
yeah,
I think if it plays, why not?
I think, yeah, if I played this and I think, and I liked it, I feel, I mean, these pictures suck. Let's be honest.
Imagine, like, I wouldn't want amazing photos of this. I like the gritty nature of the photos.
But I'm saying, like, I guess this, I feel like this photo might be, this is the one that's like, it's gold. It's like it's a body shot. But even this one looks like the picture is worn out.
Right. I don't know. I think these are good pictures. It's got a little bit of that, like, what is it? American Outfitters kind of smutty vibe to it. Is that do you remember the t-shirt brand that used to do like smutty?
Yeah. Not Urban Out. You said
I said American
Apparel.
American Apparel.
Yeah.
There we go.
Don't curse this guitar with that.
But it's got the hard shadows and like a single source of like, you know, a bright light somewhere.
It makes you think of maybe that like the guy running the company might be a pedophile.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying from like a product whatever the hell we're doing right now, commentary, like trying to determine whether or not this is a thing I would want to buy. The photos are not good.
All right. I think for me, it would depend on like, there's clearly like damage.
Yeah.
There's clearly parts of this guitar that are, you know, like well worn, which I think is a good sign. It says that someone really enjoyed playing this. A deal breaker for me would be if I pick it up and like, oh, this neck's about to fall off.
The low B string is wound backwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. All right, whatever. Excuse me. Like, if I think it's structurally about to fail, then that would be a deal breaker for me, you know. But if that's playable and it sounds decent, I might be on top of that if I ran into it on in a pawn shop or something like that. What are you looking for, Steve? A baritone?
No, but actually, I found one.
Yeah, Steve found my Gretsch baritone, which is a 30-inch scale.
The tuners, I'm so far away from any microphone. The tuners just look kind of weird, so I wanted to see like if they were correct. And
those are aftermarket tuners.
I know they're aftermarket tuners, but like the way I was looking at them in my head, I was like, are these all installed upside down?
No. It's just because they're on that Coke bottle headstock.
Yeah.
That they look funky.
Yeah, dude, $450. I would go for that.
That's Squire money, you know? That's a wall hanger. Like you hang that up to look at it, you know?
I think this would be a lot of fun to play with.
If it plays at all, it's gonna be a blast.
And if it plays like, so that was the thing with that one Danelectro baritone I was looking at. You had mentioned that like the 90s ones, like the late 90s, early 2000 reissues were kind of hit or miss. And so I think if I would have spent even whatever that guy was asking, I don't remember how much now, and it was like a miss, I think I would have been like sad about it.
Sure.
But I think at $450, if it was like a difficult instrument, but still playable, which for a modern instrument, I would say that is a miss.
Right.
But in this case, I'd be like, well, this is difficult to play, but like it's got, even with GFS pickups, it's still got some vibe.
Sure.
And then you just go hunt down some original Danelectro pickups. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think those pickups are probably going to be fine.
Danelectro pickup?
They're not bad. Well, actually, I don't know. Why wouldn't you get reproductions? You think you're going to get
that's true.
Extra special sound out of a vintage one?
Yeah, like gold foils. Like maybe I can get some of those gold foils that like don't even make any sound.
Like the ones in the new Fender guitars.
You got anything else to say about this guitar?
I don't. Let's keep moving.
All right, this is a time for housekeeping. Since this is the second episode of the night, there's no one to introduce, but if you'd like to support this show, you can head on over to 60cyclehumcast.com. Just kidding. You can head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast. And for as little as $1 a month, you can support what we do here.
Yeah, and like what you're supporting when you support us with Patreon is you're paying for travel costs that we incur here and there, food costs because we usually buy food for podcasting night, so no one has to cook a meal when we're scrambling to do podcasting and stuff like that. We pay for shipping with it. There's various costs for like services that host the podcast and other data services and things like that. Also, we are rewarding our favorite ad of every episode this year with a $25 gift card.
Yep.
So that comes out of the Patreon funds as well. Basically, if you like this channel and you like the content that we make and you want to support it, Patreon is the way to go. That we use that money as our production budget.
You know what's speaking of, what's coming up real fast?
What?
Damn.
Yeah. Did you book a hotel?
I did.
You did?
I did.
What's our hotel like, Steve?
It's the Four Seasons Marriott on the northeast corner of Disneyland.
Really?
$210 a night.
Wow.
So it's like 2 blocks, or it's like a block or block and a half away from where the Gearsome guys said that they were going to go.
All right.
Because that hotel was booked up. But I was going to bring that up because
the Gearsome guy's got a hotel room that has 3 queen beds in it. I didn't know that it was something that could even exist.
But I brought that up because with NAMM coming up, the Inner Circle money is going to help pay for that, for
and that's a
Uber trip.
I mean, 2 hotel nights is actually a significant ding on our budget.
Uber here, there, everywhere, food and drink and all that stuff. And
it adds up quick.
If there's a, just lots of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things that go on with these trade shows. So, yeah. All right.
Huge thanks to everyone who supports us. Huge thanks to everyone that will. And thanks to everyone who won't, but still watches this nonsense.
Yeah, you know who else supports us?
Stringjoy.
Stringjoy, crafted in Nashville, Tennessee, played on stages worldwide. The Stringjoy strings are crafted one at a time by Nashville musicians who know that great art is made with great tools.
Mm-hmm.
Play your way with Stringjoy strings. Click the link below, or Brian from Sweetwater also using the link below.
Yeah.
This episode's also brought to you by Big Ear Pedals. This is a woodcutter. This is the best.
And this is Wacka.
The woodcutter is the best rat style pedal that you can buy.
It's honestly my favorite rat, and I've owned a lot of rats. And the woodcutter just is my favorite rat. They also have made the Wacka. Maybe they'll make more in the future if enough people beg them for it. It's the only boost with 9 foot switches that give you a little boost with every foot switch, and you just kind of mash into it and hope for the best.
Get on over to BigEarPedals.com. Check those out.
Was that a good pitch for a pedal?
I don't know.
Doesn't exist. Yeah, it's pretty much non-functional. Like, this is not a good pedal, but it is a lot of fun and it's cool.
Is it non-functional?
No, it totally functions, but it's like, how do you imagine trying to use it on a stage and like, well, I got half of them on and I need the other half, and you're just kind of like mangling it.
I think it's a great idea.
We sold out of them. Everyone wanted them, apparently. It's incredible.
Let's hit this next ad.
All right.
You're talking too much.
I'm talking too much.
Thought you were sick.
I'm getting better, Steve.
This was sent by Ralph Pacheco. This is called Stumpcaster.
This is local to us.
Oh, that's too bad.
You could go buy this, Steve. This is up in Poway.
Poway. Oh, good grief.
Home of Blink-182.
Built to appear slightly worn, elm body, humbucker pickup, comfortable neck, plays and sounds great. 8.2 pounds, same as a Les Paul. Okay, cool.
This is the same as a Les Paul. Oh, this is our second ad in this session where there's been the shotgun shells knobs.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
12 gauge.
What was that? What? Oh, the shovel.
The shovel.
The shovel. That was from last episode, huh?
This is This is how much? $499. See, that's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. For $450, you could get that Danelectro Baritone.
Right.
$50, $49 cheaper than this.
Right. And this is, I mean, the guy I watched the video on his Reverb listing. The guy has a video of him playing this.
Yeah.
And it plays. Like, this is a cabin decoration. Like, you hang this up in your cabin. Also, like,
I'm really, like, not a fan of this.
Why did he put the silk flowers on the headstock? Like, people are going to want to see that headstock before they buy it.
Those are silk leaves, Ryan. Those are not flowers.
Okay, so they're silk leaves. Like, this is a bad ad. I'm sorry, local guy who might end up seeing this and might see me on the street and want to beat me up.
Why did this guy make a lot of these choices? This photo is taken outside of an outhouse.
Well, this picture has the headstock.
Shed/outhouse. Outhouse.
Yeah, that is an outhouse, isn't it?
I mean, it looks like, or like I said, I guess it locks from the outside, so it's probably not an outhouse.
This guy's got an outhouse. He's got a rat trap with a rubber rat on it. He's got a can crusher, a garden hose. He's got a wheelbarrow, a dolly. It looks like
a saw.
He's got a plastic sawhorse.
Sawhorse.
A Home Depot bucket, it appears.
No, it's yellow, so it's a different brand.
It might just be it might be faded from the sun.
They don't fade to yellow.
You're probably right. It's from somewhere else. Who sells a yellow bucket?
It's probably just a generic yellow bucket.
You think you can just get a yellow bucket somewhere, Steve?
Probably. Let's check Amazon. Let's not. I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. I can't get into this.
This is a very niche sort of build. Mm-hmm. I don't hate the concept. I get it. Like, it's a very specific, it's a very specific look. Like, if you're in the Country Bears Jamboree band, then yeah, obviously, you're gonna play this guitar. You know, it reminds me, like, when Lauren and I moved into this house, we had a big pine tree on the property that we wanted gone because it was just shedding needles everywhere. Yeah. And so when the tree people came and cut it down, they're like, "Well, do you want any logs left behind?" I was like, "Yeah, we want all the logs for the fireplace and whatever." Oh, could you cut us a bunch of rounds that are like 4 or 5 inches thick, and we could do projects with them or whatever. Mm-hmm. I had these grand ideas like, "Oh, I'll figure out something to do with like these cross sections of the tree." Never happened. I ended up just burning them. And this reminds me of that moment. Like, this guy got a cross section of a tree and he's like, "I'm going to turn it into something." And he decided that something would be a guitar.
Yeah. Get
that live edge round guitar going.
I mean, this is, I guess.
I don't hate it. I sense that you really hate it, Steve. I don't hate it.
The parts are fine. The fact that the neck isn't like quite dead center, I think might be part of what
it is
bothers
a little bit
me.
Off, isn't it?
The rest of the construction, as far as, like you said, live edge, etc., it looks like it's coated in an appropriate amount of resin or whatever.
I don't think anything's chipping off accidentally.
I don't know. I just can't get into
You know what kind of I don't like the tele control plate.
What kind of, do you think just no control plate would be?
Maybe like single volume and a side jack for the output.
Okay, that's fair. I think I think to that point, this would look better with, there's no pictures of the back, like of the entire back.
What is he trying to hide?
But I think,
there's a picture of the neck plate. It's a fender.
Yeah, only part of, that's what I'm saying. But I think this would have been better to do the wiring rear route. And then you could make take a strip of wood and make a wood cavity. Why can I not talk this episode?
I don't know, man. I can't talk either.
Cavity cover for the
Why
back.
do we record these things late at night? It's because that's the only time we can, and then we're spent. And, you guys don't get. I'm sorry, you guys don't get our best. You just don't, because we this is our night gig. This is something we do for fun at night, and we turned it into a thing that makes us a little bit of money here and there as well.
Hey, I lost a good I told Melissa after I filed my taxes I should have bought more guitars last year. I'm sure like there are people who love this thing.
It doesn't feel like a hard miss to me. It just feels like it's not for me.
I also just don't really know that I like the arrow headstock on this.
What headstock would you like on this?
That's the problem is I don't know that I don't know what headstock I would like on this. I just don't know if the arrow is
headless headstock.
Oh yeah, just no headstock.
Yeah, and the tuners at the butt end of it.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. I don't know. I don't.
I think the arrow actually works. I'm actually totally fine. Go buy it.
I kind of want like a Firebird headstock on this. Reverse Firebird headstock.
You know, like a very square, like Martin style headstock.
I think that could work.
Would fit this really well.
Yeah.
The arrow is a little bit too aggressive for this, isn't it?
Yeah. That's just my opinion, man.
You know, the real problem is no neck pickup.
Yeah.
This isn't a chugga guitar. This is a finger picking guitar. You need like a single coil in the neck.
In fact, if anything, you should only have a neck pickup.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I'm feeling that criticism. I think neck pickup only, maybe a mini bucker. Mini bucker in the neck?
In the neck. I could go for that.
Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah. So we're saying a squared off 3x3 headstock, a la Martin, a mini bucker in the neck, and take it down to 1 volume and a side output.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think a side output would be tricky. I don't mind. I think the control layout, I'm fine with 2. 1 would be better. 1 and an output rear control routing, not top.
Instead of the shotgun knobs, I want knobs that look like the little hats on acorns.
Ooh, that's a good call. That's a very good call.
Lean it into that woodsy look. I know shotgun shells are pretty damn woodsy, but you know what I mean. I want this to be more friendly woodsy, less hunter woodsy.
Or just use like when you're making the routes to taking the cavity out, just core out some of like make knobs out of the back where you're routing.
Right.
Like use that as knobs.
Sure.
I don't know if you could because the routing process is pretty.
Or like if you could find a nice knot in a tree and pull that out and turn that into a knob.
Yeah. Or maybe just like your knobs could be like squirrel eyes.
Yeah, the eyes of squirrels. Yeah. Those are commonly used as knobs, and it's completely practical and not unusual at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe you could have a wiggle stick on there that's made out of the jaw of a beaver.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Yeah. There's another common material used in guitar building.
Yeah.
Is beaver jaw.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah?
What's new?
What is new, Steve? We've got mail.
Mail time.
Let's open some mail.
I got something new.
You tell me about your new thing.
I haven't tried it out yet, but I got this Flamma FX10.
Oh, because I gave that to you.
Portable modeling headphone amp.
You sure did, Steve. I've got one as well. They sent 2 of them as the thing, so I figured I might as well offer one to you. Oh, here's mine. I've got the white one. You're getting the black one.
Oh, who got the camouflage one?
They didn't.
No one knows because we can't find it.
I can't find it. It's the thing. I've been looking all over. I've never actually seen it. I opened up the box. There were 3 boxes, and it's just I couldn't. No, they sent 2. They didn't send the 3, so I didn't get to.
I'll let you open that.
Witness the camouflage one in all its glory.
It's got some superhero stickers on it.
It does. We've got Green Lantern missing his head, Superman, Harley Quinn, and Batwoman. No, Catwoman. She's not a Batwoman. She's a Catwoman. Although, in the Adam West series, they swapped the actress that was Catwoman into being Batwoman, and they recast Catwoman. Yeah.
Weird.
I know. Well, it was, like weird, like, oh, we think she would be better for this or something like that. Hi, I got my shipping money back, but I won a pedal. Was this a mistake? Should I send back the money? Thanks so much for a really fun giveaway. I really enjoy all the content, and I really like the dynamic between you and Steve. It's not just that I share the namesake. I have trouble reading. Okay, if this picture was the personification of a pedal, what one would it be? They're so happy. Not sure. When I got this, it was a collector's old photo from an album cover. It's a photo of a couple, an elderly man, and a young woman holding an accordion. So what pedal would that be? That is the Earthquaker Devices arpeggiator.
Okay. If you say so.
I say so. There you go. And then we've got some... So apparently he won the Azor contest and we still returned his money to him, which is totally fine because we actually got sponsors to cover the shipping costs on that. Sweetwater, and then I think Big Ear threw money into it as well.
That sounds about right. And my guess is if I returned his money to him, which means we received it, there may have been some confusion. Like, I know you read a bunch of letters.
Right.
And I think some of the people who sent letters and got their letter read during that like super long live stream you did with Lauren thought that they won a pedal. Because they missed the other video. Or we screwed up.
Well, he said he got his pedal.
Oh.
So I don't know, man.
I don't know. If he got the pedal and he got his money back, then that's great.
All right, open that other thing, Steve. Do you need a blade?
Yes. There's a lot going on here, so I'm trying not to blade too much.
I know what this is.
This is a Dipper tremolo arm.
It is what I thought it was. You wrote about this right before I left on the trip, right?
It's a Jazzmaster style tremolo arm made for a Stratocaster. I personally cut, bend, tap, and polish each one by hand here in Oklahoma. I have these for sale on my Reverb. Just search for Dipper tremolo arm. There's a lot of tape here. So
I'm hoping that this is compatible with my Player Plus here.
Oh, it's taped. It's taped in. So let me.
Because I'm not a fan of this short little wiggle stick here.
Is that a screw-in?
Yeah, I've got a longer arm on my my old Mexican Strat, and I always really, really love that. But this is like extra long, so I'm wondering if it'll be too long. Look at how long that is. I was going to say,
hold it up next to the other one so we can.
That is like extra super duper long.
Oh, here's a sticker. Hang loose, y'all. Dipper tremolo arms.
This is going to be tricky because this is one of those bridges where it's angled. Is it going to go in there? It's going in. Oh my gosh, this is going to be silly. Look at that hot angle on the end of it, too. Oh my gosh.
That is quite the length.
That is ridiculous. I'm going to have to get used to that, but that's fun right off the bat.
You're going to have to like play over the neck pickup now.
Well, usually like on a Jazzmaster, I don't usually have my hand on the end. I'm usually like putting a couple fingers somewhere.
Right.
You know, like I like to be able to move my hand around on it. I don't necessarily grab the end and go crazy, you know.
Well, something to think about.
Yes, that's right, Steve. It is something to think about.
Are these all stickers too? That's fun.
Yeah. Do you think your kids want stickers?
No.
My kids will love the stickers.
My kids don't sticker.
Your kids don't sticker at all?
My oldest might.
But. All right.
This episode is also brought to you by Chase Bliss Audio, which might be Chase Bliss. They're not
Chase Bliss Visual.
Yeah, they're definitely not Chase Bliss Visual. This is the Therme.
They are fun to look at, though.
This is the Therme analog delay and pitch shifter.
It's my favorite delay pedal from Chase Bliss.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty high up there. I see what you're getting at, Steve. It's pretty high up there. I'm definitely never getting rid of it. I love it. It's
cool. It's a cool unit.
At its core, it's a fun, everyday always on sort of delay, but then you want to get wild and you turn one of these knobs and you can set a different interval for your repeats. 2 different intervals, actually. You could have double octaves up or down. You could have fifths, fourths,
thirds,
fourth.
No,
okay.
I don't know.
It's fifths and fourths and octaves and 2 octaves and then off. And then you can glide them so they're gliding in between the notes and stuff like that. I'm sitting here thinking about how I haven't played this in a while and I miss it. I need to have a reason to mess around with this again.
You just need to make a new video just for the
thing. I really probably should because it's such a fun pedal. And then it's got all the chase dip switches on the back there. I've been thinking about an expression control gizmo that I want to put together.
That would be fun for this.
And my mind started to go into that. And I was like, man, that'd be fun for this thing. Hopefully I actually get around to completing that project or starting the project. I got the parts for it. I just need to actually put it together.
Did you find a box?
I haven't found a box yet, but inside this thing is a thing that Steve and I know about.
You know what you should just do?
I should just use this cardboard box.
No, I don't. I was gonna say I don't know if it'll help do the wear and tear, but you should figure out what dimensions you want, and then have someone 3D print the box.
Ooh, a 3D printed box would be fun.
Yeah. I thought of that because I saw the little rocket ghost back there from Rocket Music Gear.
This little guy.
No,
that's a fun guy.
You want to hit this? Oh, did I say chaseplus.com?
Yeah.
Go to
Go follow them on all their social media. Tell them that we sent you.
Is this a good ad? Probably not.
I don't know, man.
How do you want to talk about this topic?
Oh yeah, there's a topic. Do we even need guitar heroes?
So
it's the topic. So here's what happened. Is someone commented on one of our very old podcast episodes where we talked about the fact that we think that Joe Bonamassa is a troll for the sake of marketing himself.
Yeah.
You can go find that episode and watch it and disagree with it or agree with it if you want. It was fairly lighthearted. But it's also excellent boomer bait. And we get a lot of comments from people who are being very defensive towards their favorite blues lawyer boy. And I got a comment, I want to say last night, where I ended up having a long conversation with a commenter because he kind of opened it up like, hey, the channels like this, just guitar culture in general, I think what he was trying to get at, owe a lot to guitar heroes because they kind of made guitar the thing that it is. And while that's true to a certain extent, like there is a lot of the guitar industry and a lot of guitar culture is built on top of people's fandom and idol worship of guitar gods and stuff like that. Myself personally, and how I build the content on this channel really have nothing to do with hero worship or, like chasing the tone of the guitar gods or anything like that, or the skills of the guitar gods. And he made a point that really, it grabbed my attention. Do you have the first comment there from him?
Yeah. You want
that he made this point that in 10 years, this channel might not exist anymore because the guitar heroes will have retired or become too obscure.
So here's the quote. Without guys like Joe Bonamassa, Eric Gale, Josh Smith, etc., there might not be a 60 cycle hum channel in 10 years. The baby boomers are retiring and our legends are dying and retiring every year. Who is Joe passing the mantle to? Who's the next Joe or Derek Trucks? I know this was an old video and I'm too busy watching videos to improve my playing, but on occasion I click on shit like this. I wish you guys a lot of success as well as you're doing your part to keep guitar and guitar music alive. So there's a lot of back and forth between you and this guy, and I think
I was having fun kind of like exploring the concept with him.
I think there's
I didn't feel like screen grabbing him or like shaming this guy or whatever.
There's a lot of like
saving it for the podcast.
I think there's a lot of cross conversation that was just like reading the back and forth. One, I think it's funny that it's without guys like Joe, Eric Gale, or Josh Smith when Eric Gale is dead.
Well,
there's a lot of mentioning, Jimmy and different guys here.
But I think listening to you read it again, I think what he was getting at is that when the boomer generation tunes out of this concept, of this sort of content, then channels like this might be in trouble.
Right.
What age range would you put the boomers in?
What is it, like 60 plus? 65 plus at this
65
point?
plus? YouTube Studio right here, my demographics is showing me that the 65 plus crowd is less
than 5%
than the 18 to 24 crowd.
Yeah, 100%. That's obvious.
It is 7.8% of 60 cycle hum viewers are in the 65 plus crowd.
That's actually higher. I would guess that most of our audience is either elder, millennial, or Gen X. I would say 35. I don't know. What are the categories?
18 to 24.
What's the category under under what I just said I thought would be boomers?
55 to 64?
No, that's not. I think your highest is, what's the one under that?
45 to 54?
I think that one's going to be on the higher side, but I think whatever's under, like, I guess it would be probably like 35 to 45 or whatever.
You're right on top of it. 35 to 44. That is our highest demographic at 24.3%.
Which also, that's who we are. So
that's who we are. That is our age.
I think we're the elder, but still tech savvy.
I'm definitely an elder millennial or a baby Gen Xer, depending on who you ask. But the majority of our viewership is 25 to 54 with outliers.
Yeah.
Like there's 3 age groups in there, and that's all of them. So I'm not worried at all. And I think that guy, he's coming to a conclusion based on his own experiences, which is fine. That's what we all do.
Yeah.
I don't think that guitar's gonna die with the boomers, and with if they're not around to support the industry anymore, I don't think we're going to be in that great of trouble. I mean, 7% is not a small number of people to not have in the audience that are retired and not purchasing things anymore. But it's also like, you replace that with new youth. That's the way things are supposed to work.
So I think there's a couple things. So your first response was, explain to me why this channel wouldn't exist in 10 years without those players. I don't get it. I don't know. I guess when he says without guys like, and then goes on to who is the next Joe or Derek Trucks, I can tell you who the next Joe or Derek Trucks is. And well, the funny thing is, he might actually be older than Joe, at least Joe. Oh shit, he is. I was going to say is Jack White. Like, Jack White's probably not dying anytime soon.
How old is Jack White?
Jack White's 47. He's 2 years older than Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah.
Which kind of like, that's when I first started to say, I was like, huh. And then I realized, but
Joe Bonamassa has an old soul.
But I would say as far as guitar heroes go, like there's some things.
Jack White's a perpetual teenager.
Yeah, there's some things in here where I feel like y'all are just like talking past each other maybe a little bit.
Sure, of course.
Like you say, personally, I don't have heroes, yet here I am playing guitar, which I get it. But then his thing is like, well, but didn't you have a guitar hero at some point? I think we all had somebody, but it's not necessarily a guitar hero, right?
Like I hear people talking about like, oh, I started playing guitar because I wanted to play like Jimi Hendrix or whatever. I never had that moment.
Yeah.
I started playing guitar because I saw a friend play Smells Like Teen Spirit, and I was like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
Like that was my moment, is like me realizing like, oh, I could do that. That looks simple. I can process that. I see what's happening with my eyes and I can repeat that. That looks like a fun thing to try to do. It wasn't because I was in love with Nirvana or anything.
Right.
Like I knew the song from the radio.
I think a lot of people, though, like at different points, they would say like, oh, there was maybe one player. I mean, I guess, to that point, I got serious about guitar again because I was kind of had that same revelation, like at a church camp, like, oh, church music is the stuff at that point. It was like very acoustic guitar driven. I was like, oh, this is really fun. Everyone's having a good time.
Right.
I really want to learn guitar.
Also, when you're a teenager, you just need something to do with your hands, like anything. Just give me something to keep my hands busy.
But the other part of that is, he names off all these big names, and I guess like from an industry supporting aspect, I can see, he says, Hendrix sold more Strats than any Fender rep, which is maybe there's a point to that, right? Like, but the flip side of that is it's not like we don't have young up and coming guys. Like Tim Henson is 20 whatever, 21 or however old. Like he's very young.
Also, Strats were already on the menu before Hendrix started playing them. Like,
weren't they on the down though? I
don't know.
I mean, there are definitely guitars that like I know.
And if it hadn't have been Strats, it would have been some other guitar that would have been played by some other artist. There's
a definite discussion that like Les Pauls were dead until Eric Clapton picked one up. Like they literally stopped making them.
Right.
In 1961.
Right.
But I think the idea that like, oh well, trashing on Joe Bonamassa is disrespecting a guitar hero.
It's not my guitar hero.
And that it matters somehow is maybe a little closed off to like the rest of the music world. I would this is going to be a really bad take in my mind. I know this is not true.
Okay.
But in my mind, nobody's bought a guitar because of Joe Bonamassa. I guarantee
I know that's not true.
I know 100% it's not true. It can't be true. But like if I went to my parents' house, my parents are not musical people. My mom wouldn't know the name of anybody.
Right.
But if I asked my dad, I said, "Hey, you know who Jimi Hendrix is?" He'd probably be like, "Get your liberal ass out of my house." But like my dad knows who Jimi Hendrix is, and he's not a fan, but he knows who he is. Jimmy Page, he probably doesn't, but if who Led Zeppelin is, he's gonna know who that is.
I know non-guitarists who know
Joe
who
Bonamassa
Joe Bonamassa is.
I don't.
But they're in this very specific scene.
People who love the blues,
kind of retired age people who like to go to big concerts. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a very interesting scene to me because my parents never went to big concerts and stuff. I didn't know people who did that, who were that age. But like on Lauren's side of the family, like a significant part of like the older people in her family, like they go to there's a big country festival or something, and they go to kind of like big mainstream concerts and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So they're aware of Joe Bonamassa because they'll go to shows.
Right. Because like in my head, Joe Bonamassa is like, he's the guitar Lawrence Welk.
Yeah, sure.
Like, and I don't. Lawrence Welk is the greatest accordion player or whatever. He inspired Weird Al.
Seeing. I'm pretty sure Weird Al's dad inspired him.
Well, that too.
His dad is like a legitimately notable accordion polka guy.
Weird Al made a comment on he was on Hot Ones,
right? And
he made a comment about being a kid and watching Lawrence Welk on TV.
I used to watch Lawrence Welk.
And
Weird Al and I have that.
And how like the accordion was like a top tier accordion was guitar of the 50s.
Look at this. There's a teenager in this photo learning accordion.
Oh, really?
I've got a photo of my dad who was learning accordion in the 60s because it was a huge instrument.
Yeah.
Like you think about what an accordion is it's like a full band in a box, basically. It's you're playing two different keyboards at the same time. You can play any song on an accordion and it can sound amazing. It's just like everyone got tired of it and people got over polka,
Yeah. I think, everybody's aging. I get it. I understand that aspect of it, but I don't think we're heading towards a Guitar Hero mass extinction event where, and the flip side of that is, if we had a stretch, like what would the stretch have to be? If every guitar player over the age, if every famous guitar player over the age of like 70 all died in the next 5 years.
They don't even have to die. They just like
or retire.
Like, we don't have money. We're focused on retirement. We're just going to use the guitars we have, and we're not going to be in the market
so
anymore.
say by like 2030, all of these guys are out. Gilmore,
right?
Page, Thedge,
but like, it doesn't matter if
Bonnie Raitt, all these
the
people
heroes are gone because they're this recordings.
Yeah, the recordings still exist.
People still, it's like, if that argument held any water, then no one would know who Jimi Hendrix is.
Right.
Like, that's not the extinction level event. The extinction level event is that the people caring about those heroes are out of the market.
Yeah.
It's not that the recordings have stopped, like being accessible or something like that. It's not that those people aren't around to make music and perform on stages anymore. It's that the people that listen to music aren't listening to them anymore. But in that case, like, here's my thing. I don't think guitar has been so abundantly blessed in the past nearly 100 years. In the past 75 years, it's been guitars. Everything has been guitars for 75 years. And we're spoiled, rotten brats about it. And we're just like, oh no, guitar shredding music isn't the top music anymore. Pop music doesn't have guitar solos and blah, 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 blah. It never did before. What are we worried about happening? Things going back to normal? That's what we're worried about. Yeah. Is guitar normalizing?
Guitar's already normalized.
Right, but I'm talking like when it's a tool instead of being like a prerequisite for a song.
Yeah. I mean,
it used to be like you can't have a song without guitar.
Do you remember when rock and roll was edgy? And then freaking Van Halen, like, Hot for Teacher is just propaganda to stay in school, kids. Come on.
It's a psyop.
Come on. No, but seriously, here's a potentially controversial. I don't think you're going to find it controversial.
And I feel like both of us are old enough to know that, like, every 10 years someone stands up and goes like, guitar rock is dying. Who's going to save guitar music? And it's like, it's not dying, guys. It's still here.
So here's the other thing is who is Joe Bonamassa going to pass the torch to?
That's not how things work.
Who cares?
Who cares?
I don't want to full on say who cares, but here's what's going to happen. A lot of different things are going to happen, right? Somebody
once told me the word.
Jeez, man. Some kid, right? Maybe it's too late for this. I feel out.
There's no torch passing. There's torch taking. There's some kid rising up with some new sound that all the old people hate, rising up and snatching the torch away and being like, I'm taking this, and everyone is going to follow me.
Okay, string of hot takes, maybe.
Okay. All right.
The first thing I'll say is, in my opinion,
here we go. This is opinion.
There has not been a new pop relevant guitar hero.
Yes.
In the last 20 years.
Yes. And that
is that a hot take? That person is Jack White.
Ooh.
Who would you say it is? I'd say that person is Jack White.
I am tracking that take, and people out there are clenching their buttholes so tight right now because they're thinking of it in terms of their fandom of being guitarists listening to music. Think about it in terms
that's what I'm saying.
Of the general population listening to music.
General population,
I feel like you might be right.
I think Jack White, and I think we've had this conversation before, that he's the last new guitar. Now I'll say that. Here's the real hot take.
Because when the general population person, a general music listener, you say Jack White, they think of a guitarist. Mm-hmm. Now a general population music fan is not thinking about Joe Bonamassa at all. There are outliers. There are people who are aware of him, but generally that's guitar music for guitarists.
Here's another potentially, and this is all tying into this. If there is another guitar hero, it's not in the sense of like the
problem is that we don't really have pop music anymore.
The stand up and shred of 80s, even the 70s. Even if some people would say like Kurt Cobain was the guitar anti-hero, right? Like,
Sure.
He was writing great songs. He was just kind of, it was a very punk aesthetic.
There wasn't, believe it or not, there wasn't a ton of guitar heroism there was a lot of guitar, but there wasn't a lot of guitar heroism in 90s alt.
Oh, no, I get it. I have to remind myself every few months that Kim Thale exists.
Right.
Because I forget that Soundgarden is more than just Chris Cornell.
Right.
And I don't even know what the names of the other guys in Soundgarden was.
Sure.
Was Jay Mascis? No, I'm just kidding. Here's the hot take number 2. If somebody said there's guitar heroes after Jack White. Again, I have to think about this in terms of pop music.
And I want to be super clear here. It's not about guitarists it's not about guitar heroes for guitarists. We're talking about guitar heroes for the general popular music listening.
People who are getting the general population interested in guitar.
John Mayer.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about John Mayer. That's a good one. Hey, Jack White, John Mayer basically came out around the same time.
Right.
After those two guys, sorry, John. Sorry, Mary. I forgot about John. And all those John Mayer folks. Rhett's a big, Rhett's a big John Mayer fan. Taylor Swift.
But do her fans look at her as a guitar hero?
No, but
she played. I bet there's all sorts of pop artists that play and musicians that play guitar, but they're not guitar heroes. Like,
I bet here's what I'm getting at is I bet if you track
sales
yes, over the last 20 years of, hey, who inspired you to pick up the guitar?
Taylor Swift
is going to be in the top 5 of people who are, who started their careers after the year 2000.
I would bet money that Taylor Swift number 1 has led to more people picking up guitar than Joe Bonamassa ever has.
Here's where I'm going with that is, like Taylor Swift, it's she has, I think, like, I watched this video, she has like 21 strum patterns or 21 chord progressions that she uses. Sure. Very simple, actually, is very limited scope.
That's actually a lot of chord progressions.
No, because
more
it's
than
like,
I work with.
It's like GDC, and then it's like GCD, and then it's like DGC. Like it's all,
But that's where the money is, baby.
But that's where the money is, and that's part of the draw, right? But here's what happens. Yeah, like a lot of people pick it up and they don't go anywhere. But some of the people who pick up the guitar,
that's everything though.
They start with Taylor Swift, and then you think about like the tour she's going on about to go on. Like maybe that gets them from Taylor Swift to Phoebe Bridgers to Joni Mitchell to James Taylor, and now you're talking about that James Taylor is a lot of people's guitar hero. Or they're starting with Taylor Swift, Julian Baker. They're getting into like some more mathy electronic stuff or electric like effects and stuff, and now they're going back into that indie track of the 90s, and maybe they end up at Sonic Youth. Like it's all gateway,
right,
and it's getting people in the door. And doing this, or they're getting Taylor Swift, and they're like, well, what about like her older stuff? Oh, her old country stuff is weird, but somehow that gets them into George Strait, and then they just go back, and they end up at Roy Clark, or they end up at
quite the journey.
Yeah, let's go on a journey. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of things, and I don't think you need to be like.
But that's also like Spotify culture. Like you end up places. Yeah, like I brought up my Zoomer sister before. She's a huge Taylor Swift fan.
She doesn't play guitar at all. What the hell?
But she also, like, her musical tastes are all over the map.
Yeah,
like she'll name drop someone, like, you listen to them, and we'll talk about them for a while. I'm like, well, have you heard of this person? And she's like, no, I've never heard about them. And I try to play them, and she's like, no, not interested. Because she didn't find them. This is the thing you have to, like, this is a whole other side tangent. The thing you have to remember about being young, and she's in her young 20s, you have to find it on your own, and it has to mean something. Like, I remember people trying to show me stuff when I was young, and it didn't connect, because that's not how you find stuff when you're young. You have to find it on your own, or find it in a situation that you are in that's meaningful to you. Mm-hmm. And that, that's a whole other side tangent.
One last comment on this. I think we're done. That's kind of my take is I think as long as guitar exists in music and guitar is an instrument that you can hang on your wall.
Guitar is an incredibly practical
and pull down and entertain yourself. They're going to sell.
Right.
Here's a question I have that's somewhat related to this topic. Not really, only in like that sort of way, like where they touch and they. Have you listened to Froggy Stomp? The Presidents of the USA first album that just was released like 2 weeks ago.
No.
Yeah, it's the album that they.
Is it like a demo?
It was only a tape originally. It was before their self-titled.
I need to.
So it's got a lot of the songs from the self-titled. Like it's got Kitty on it. It's got Indian Princess or whatever. It's got a lot of those songs.
I watched, they re-released the video for Peaches because they tracked down an HD version of it. So I rewatched that. Yeah. They've been doing some stuff over there at the president's headquarters.
Yeah. So I thought of that because, I thought about that earlier, but then I was like, oh, well, that, like, Chris Ballou is a guy who I would say, like, if I was trying to name off people who might qualify as a guitar hero for you,
I would definitely say an influence, but I feel like a hero and an influence are two totally different things. Like hero implies a level of worship, a level of like, oh, how did they? Here's a living God sort of situation. I enjoy his music.
Right. I
connect with his music. I don't view him as someone to be worshipped. I don't view anyone that way. I learned to play guitar. A lot of how I learned to play guitar, playing along to Dick Dale tracks and stuff like that. Dick Dale's an incredible guitarist. I don't idolize him. I don't worship him. He's not an idol to me. Yeah. He's not a hero.
You didn't have a Dick Dale poster on your. Did you have any like music posters on your wall when you were a kid?
No, I was like I shredded up surfing mags and put up little like surf pictures.
Like a lot of Reef catalog type things.
Yeah, I love the sandals. Yeah. Big fan of the sandals.
Great sandals.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You should check it out. It's really raw.
Oh, I love it already.
Yeah, it really sounds like somebody just took a tape.
I mean, you're probably not wrong in that the Presidents are one of those bands where I can listen to every album all the way through and not dislike any of it. But it's also like this more. I like the music more than it's like, oh, here's like a guitar inspiration. Like I love the way the guitar is, but it's not like, oh man, here's my guitar idol.
I mean, there is an angle to that. God, we're just can't.
Sure, who cares? It's like, the last episode tonight. Let's just.
It's whatever. There's guys who, I guess with the Guitar Hero, it's like you follow everything they do. So it's like people are like, I know that Slash was in Guns N' Roses. I don't know anything else he did.
Like if they came out with a signature model, Chris Ballou SG, I'm not gonna go buy a signature guitar.
No, but you would beg Mark Agnesi to send you one.
No, I wouldn't. No, I like
that would be funnier if you anded that, Ryan.
Sorry, I didn't know we were doing improv. I don't interact with guitar that way. I don't. I'm the same way with a lot of stuff. Like I'm not a fandom guy that way. I like things. I enjoy things, but I don't have lists of favorite things. Right. I don't have lists of things that I put on pedestals and whatnot. To wrap this up, want to read the last two comments I had with that guy? I had a reply to him, and then he had a last reply to me. And I feel like that puts a good button on things.
So you said you wrote a lot of words just to say, I don't know. The nice thing about guitar is that there's room for all kinds of fandom. There's room for people who want to treat it like a spectator sport, where they root for their favorite finger athletes and keep score in their heads. And there's room for people who see it as a creative tool, not bound by the well-trodden blues riffs of the past. And there's room for people who purely have an infatuation with guitar as an object. That's me.
Yeah.
And everyone else, it's all valid. And he says, your lips to God's ears, as there has been no greater gift in my life than playing and listening to music. I'd be lost without it. And I think learning an instrument is vital to a person's growth. Even if you don't make a career of playing it, it will give you a place to go to relax and express yourself. It's also an amazing gift to the mind. As you learn and practice, you stimulate another part of your brain. It also crosses boundaries. It brings people together, no matter your race, creed, nationality, or social economic class. It is the most unifying gift to humanity.
I feel like that's a beautiful way to end that conversation. Not just our conversation, but the conversation I had with that guy is like, I mean, the way he closed that is like, yeah, that's why we don't. That's kind of why we don't need Guitar Heroes, is because it's a like the joy of playing music, the joy of experiencing music, whether it be guitar or honestly, like two turntables and a mixer, you're doing a DJ thing, or
no microphones,
or a synth, or you're doing it all on a computer or something like that, using virtual instruments. The joy and the excitement of making music is its own reward. And we have Guitar Heroes because it is intrinsically rewarding, and people fall in love with it and make a life out of it and do incredible things with it. And we all get a taste of that when we interact with instruments, you know, like when we interact with the arts. I don't have anything else to say.
All right, this last ad was sent by Greg Dodd. It's called Corner Guitar.
I called it Corner Guitar.
I know. Unique double neck guitar / lap steel. Guitar is a left-handed telly, strung right-handed. Lap steel has one single coil pickup and also has Duesenberg string bender system installed. Palm lever A bends second string up a full step. Lever B bends third string up a half step. Corresponds to A, B foot. Okay, on a pedal steel. Third lever lowers the fourth string down, like the knee lever. Can get some awesome pedal steel licks with those palm levers. Does take a bit of getting used to activating the levers while picking.
I kind of want
no price on this.
Oh yeah, I didn't get a price, or it wasn't sent to us. I kind of want to mess around with one of those lever rigs. I don't want to buy one. I want to try one and then figure out if it's something I can even do. I thought this was interesting. Not just because it's a guitar that you can lean in a corner safely, because it's two guitars at a right angle from each other.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, is smart because one is a lap steel. And so you're holding the telly style guitar up with the strap, and then the lap steel is being held flat in front of you for doing slide work and stuff. I think it's really fun that they did this project with what I imagine started as a lefty Telecaster. It was definitely a lefty Telecaster. Look at the angle on the bridge pickup. So they cut away the top horn or the top bout area to give it that double cut look. And then there's an empty control plate there. I think that's a clever bit of ingenuity with this guitar. It's someone's project. It's not perfect on the back, but it's pretty damn clean.
I'm really interested in how you decide what you're playing, because it looks like there's only one output. There's only one output jack. There's only one set of controls. But
there is a switch, and there's only one pickup on the lap steel. So you've probably got a 5-way there. So you've got one setting is the bridge pickup on the lap. Then there's a dead setting, and then like the middle is the bridge on the telly, middle on the telly, and neck on the telly. That's my guess. 5-way switch. And master volume and tone.
Who is this for?
It's for country players. It's for twangers and sliders. And
you got to turn the
lap
guitar
steelers
all the way around to play it as a lap steel.
No, you don't.
I guess you could reach down. It's a long reach.
No, the guitar's right here, and then you're lap stealing right here.
Yeah.
And then you just, you know.
I mean, I really like this as an idea, and it's a really clean execution. I'm just trying to think through
I don't know why you're having trouble imagining that.
Because I'm just thinking about how your hand would get to like right here.
They're probably not going that high most of the time anyways. What do you think? They're going to shred on this thing?
I wish there was a price.
They're playing Sleepwalk on it.
I'm sad there's not a price.
Yeah, it would be nice to know the price.
What's
Sleepwalk? The song Sleepwalk.
I don't know that song.
You don't know Sleepwalk?
I mean, it sounds familiar. I probably know it. I just don't know it by name. Is that Hawaiian song? Do, 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 do. Yeah, okay. That's like the quintessential pedal steel song. I just don't know the name. I didn't know the name of it. Yeah, I know that song.
I mangled that part pretty bad.
I mean, despite your best efforts, I still recognized what you were playing.
Yeah. Well, what would you neither of us have any frame of reference for the price of this.
$400.
I think this must be worth $4,000.
Well, you're dumb.
If it had a B bender, then that would be the ultimate.
If it had a B bender, it would be worth at least $1,500.
Right.
Just for the B bender.
No, this looks like clean work to me. If someone wanted it, assuming it plays decent, I can't tell.
I already tried.
It's a maker model on the headstock. It looks like some sort of parts neck or something like that. I feel like it'd be totally fair for someone to try to charge north of 500 but under 750.
Okay.
Like if it works and it all checks out, like why not?
Yeah. No, I mean they can try to. I'm saying it would be fair for them to charge it. I'm just saying I wouldn't pay more than $400.
No, you wouldn't, because you're not going to play this guitar.
Well, what if I wanted to learn lap steel?
Then you're going to get a cheap lap steel.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's got the hardware there. It's got the bar divey thing. I already forgot what it's called.
It's called a doozy, Duesenberg.
The doozy thing. Yeah. It's a doozy. All right. I don't know. Is this the time
Duesenberg string bender
where we pick our favorite ad?
This is. I feel like it's real easy. I just feel like it's real easy. Do we need a?
We had the Stumpcaster.
Yep.
We had the
corner guitar,
and we had the gold shovel.
Yeah. No, the U2 Baritone.
The U2 Baritone. Oh yeah, it is easy, isn't it?
It's U2 Baritone.
Holy
right?
hell! Yeah, it's the U2 Baritone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Congrats, U2 Baritone.
John Fleming.
John Fleming already won.
Did he?
Hey, we said this was going to happen.
He won last time?
No, he won like a few weeks ago.
Well, he should just save his gift cards and he can stack them up. Like I actually thought that, we were going to have a lot of weeks where it was going to be Mark DeBrune and Michael Krause, because they had been like keeping the show afloat for so long.
I don't know if Mark has sent an. If he always sends in clusters,
right?
And I don't think he sent an ad in a while, or if we just haven't gotten to his section of the emails yet.
Do you think he was sending ads to keep us afloat because he knew that we needed it, and now that he knows that we don't need it, now he doesn't feel the duty to keep the show going?
I don't know. He's still unsubscribes every episode.
Mark and Michael Krause have kept this show going with ads for a long time. I salute you.
Michael Krause is still. He sent some ads today.
He did, and I feel bad every time I don't pick one of them, or one hasn't won yet. Like he got close like 2 weeks ago, right?
I think so.
You guys are gonna win. Like just keep sending ads, and you're gonna win eventually.
It's like I really like this. Like I really like this Adventurers Club thing.
It's fun, right?
I could see doing this like until we die.
All right.
I mean, I'm not saying until the podcast ends. I'm saying I don't plan on living that much longer. So.
Okay. Yeah. So at least 3 more weeks.
at least until both of these episodes are published.
Oh my gosh. How dark are we going to get right now?
God. All right. Sorry. I always tell that to my wife, and she's like, "Please stop talking about that."
Song.
Yeah, this song was sent.
Hear that song.
This song was sent by Rachel Hoots. She says, "Hey guys, this is a song called No More by my band Dragonfly Raptor. I play all the instruments and my friend Danae sings."
Dragonfly Raptor.
We're not trying to promote anything. We're just doing this for fun. Thanks for making such a great podcast as always. Oh, you're welcome.
shows there's more to me than what there seems. No more wasting time, you see, I've come to pave my destiny. I won't try to run away from the fears inside me. Today I'll stake my claim as the master of my fate.
That outro there that started around like 2:35 with the background vocals, like I think the song needs more of that. I think that should be like I hate to come across like I'm telling you to do your song different. But if you're going to do another song that's similar to that, like that felt like a really fun little nugget there of that background vocal with kind of sparse vocals on top of it. Like I liked that. My ears liked that a lot, is what I'm saying. But that's fun.
No, I liked it.
Yeah,
that's great.
Kind of like
it just came
power
out.
metal kind of fun.
Yeah, we
romp.
had some big dynamic listens the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, got some pinch harmonics in there.
Yeah,
chugga chuggas. Thanks for the song. Bye, everybody.
Stay grounded.